Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. And this replay had a very short start. This is Knights are Min 32. I think I got that right. Yep, Knights Min 3R22. Yep, what a name. Must be a reason behind that. I'm sure there's a story. I'm sure he'll tell us someday. But he's in the GW Tiger P. Now this is the Tier 8 German SPG. Based on the Porsche version of the Tiger. It was a Geschutzwagen, a gun carrier, that was proposed to be built using up the chassis that Porsche had actually made. And we're on El Halluf, and this is a standard battle. And he's headed for the back, which is quite a usual tactic, because there's plenty of area there that you can fire from and move about in, and the enemy just can't see you. But it is much further away from the enemy, and that means longer flight times, and that means you have to make an adjustment for the lead on the targets. Okay, he's getting into position. He's got a mark of excellence on his barrel, so he is a good player. Okay, first target looks to be an Indian Panzer. Rounds out. Oh, direct hit, 451, and he picked up stun assist straight away, and he stunned the T-54 into the bargain. That was a really useful shot. Really helped his team because it moved both of those tanks out of an opposing situation, pushed them back to the back of there. In fact, actually it makes them now even better targets, because whilst they're on the other side of that pass, his team can push forward, and they are now highlighted so he can put another round into them. And he's almost reloaded. Looks like he's going to go for this ST1 on the far side. The Indian Panzer, though, is calling for the shell. Yes, he so wants the shell. And this rear end in. Rounds out! Oh, another direct hit. 452 hit points, 3 critical hits. Oh, that T-54 rolled! And he's rolled! He's upside down! The T-54 went round the corner at speed. He's ended up... He's upside down. His tracks were damaged. I don't think his team are going to be able to right him in time, so he is going to end up dying. People are farming damage off him as quickly as they can, because he is going to go down, but it will be a crash rather than... Oh no, somebody killed him. So they saved him having to wait for his own death. He's been taken out. I think it was the Type 5 Heavy who ended up getting him. No, it was the T-44-100. He had the pleasure of taking out an upside down T-54. I'm sure that player is suitably embarrassed. We won't mention your name at all, Mr. Yes, no, we're not going to mention you. That would just be too cruel, I think. Anyway, let's go back to the game now. We're loaded. We're ready to go. Knightsmin. I'll call him Knightsmin. Oh, wow. Look at that T-30. 412 hit points. Wipes him out completely. Beautiful shot. He was quickly adjusting as well. Shows his skill, because he's actually able to aim fairly quickly on these targets and put them out of their misery. He's got a cramp arm there he can go for. That's a nice target. Nice juicy autoloader. Tier 10 Swedish. He's lined up, but he's got still a few seconds to go before he's loaded. But if that cramp arm stays where he is, this should be a very juicy hit. Rounds out. He hit it! Yes, definitely got the target. That Cranvarn's now sporting a suitable stun and a massive hit for damage. Right, now the enemy's pushing back up onto that pass area. The T-44-100 is getting shots actually through the gap on an enemy tank that's come up near the spawn point. But he's been taken out. That was an Object 416 apparently. Okay, IS-4's trying to get into the DAP to take out that T-44, but he's taken out in return by the Scorpion G. Now, Knightsman is loaded. Rounds out on the ISU-152, and it splashes him. 240 hit points, but it's the stun that's more important because he's actually picked up more stun assist, and that stun inhibits that ISU from actually doing any damage to his team, because whilst he's stunned, he's going to be inaccurate. He's going to find it very difficult to play. Now that defender is going to be a nuisance because he's actually got round the back now. And the T-44's recognised this. He's getting out of the way. They're going to try and go around the back of him. So if Knightsman can actually put a round into the back of that defender, that'll make it easier for the 121 and the T-44 to take them out. Lining up the shot, rounds out. Oh, he got him! He wiped him out. In fact, there was a slight delay, so I think he might have set fire to him as he killed him. Slight delay between the shell going in and the tank, the wreck appearing. But he actually hit the rear of that defender and totally wiped him out. That's his second kill. Now he's backing up. There's 4 remaining enemy tanks. In fact, there's 4 on both sides. 2 tank destroyers, 2 heavies on the enemy team. 2 tank destroyers are light, and of course Knightmen on his team. Now they've effectively got control of the battlefield because they are over the enemy side. In fact, the light tank's over the enemy side. But let's have a look. We can't see any further targets. The Wizzy's guarding the approach to the cap. So if anybody does come that way, and here's the ISU, the same ISU, and he's been tracked. Rounds out. Oh, that's RNG. It landed right in front. It was perfectly aimed. It was right on the ISU, but the shell landed short. But it did stun him, and so he has picked up some stun assist. And the ISU is backing away because he knows he's in trouble. And meanwhile, the T-28 is coming up behind that ISU. So, and on the other side of the battlefield, the 1390 is engaging the enemy Wizzy. Now, the ISU is going to go into an Arty safe position, but the T-28 takes him out from behind. And that makes it 4 versus 3. Now that 1390's in a dangerous situation because that Kramwagen's nearby, and the Wizzy 120 rams him. He needs to get out of there now, but he takes out the Wizzy, and the Kramwagen's still there, and unfortunately the Emil 1 takes out the 1390. Right, now lining up a shot on the Emil. He's backing into it. And he splashes him for 348 and 2 critical hits. That's a really good shot. Now he just needs to get the rest of the other members of his team round to the other side and hope that the enemy doesn't decide to cut straight across the valley, because if they do, he's not going to get much warning before they're on top of him. You can bet that they will come looking for him because they know the general vicinity of where he's been firing from both of those tanks have been hit by his shells. The T-28's in the lead. He's moving round. The Wizzy 111 is still acting as point defense to the cap. Knightsman's going to move up a little. That won't shorten his flight time by much. And it won't give him much delay in, or much warning, if the enemy does come around this side. Oh, there's the enemy. Okay, it's the Kramwagen, and he's in defilade, so the T-28 is going to have a difficult job here. He needs to help that T-28. He's dialing in the aim. Come on, aim. Dial in. He needs to help the T-28. Oh, T-28's gone down. The round goes out. Oh, and it just stuns the Kramwagen. So it's 2 versus 2 now. And his teammate in the Wizzy is heading across the valley now to take on the Kramwagen. Now, some might say, why didn't the Wizzy go with the T-28? And that way there would have been 2 tanks against the Kramwagen instead of 1. There's the Emil. And the Emil's got a shot into the Wizzy. And it won't be long before the Kramwagen does the same. Okay, he's got to try and get that shot onto the Emil. If he can, dialing in the aim, dialing it in on that corner. He's firing. Rounds out. Oh, it hits the rock face. That's the worst possible time to get bad RNG. Of course, he couldn't really have fired whilst the T-28 was engaging the cram farm, because he would have stunned his own teammate and possibly damaged him. But we can see off to the left. Yeah, there's the Cranvarn. He's going after the Wizzy 111, and the Emil will be poking his head out to put shots into the side of the Wizzy. This is going to be very awkward. He's almost loaded. Now, so long as that Cranvarn's to the south, he can hit it. Rounds out. On target. Yes! 1,040 hit points. Wipes out the Cranvarn. And now it's 1 versus 1. An SPG versus the Emil, a heavy. We know that the Emil's been damaged because, of course, Knightsman did actually hit him. The question is, how much health does he have left? What we can be certain of is that that Emil is headed this way. And, of course, the GW Tiger does not have a very good view range. He doesn't really want to be in the open, because that would just make it easy for the Emil to kill him. He wants to be somewhere where he can hide and pop out at the last second and take out the Emil. He's going to have to do it shotgun, because he's not going to get much warning of the Emil's approach. Looks like he's going to head into the village. Right. Okay. Now, enemy's not going to know that where exactly he is, but he does know the vicinity, because he knew from where he was hit, which direction he was hit. But he's probably not going to be expecting the GW to be inside the cap. Now, I would expect the Emil to come directly across the valley and then go up the back of the map to see if he's there. GW Tiger P has two guns, a 17cm Canona and a 21cm Morsa howitzer. This appears to be the 17cm. Oh, he's been spotted! Okay, so we know the Emil is in the vicinity, has seen where he is, and he's coming from the other direction. So we know he's coming from that direction, and he's firing into the building, just knocking the building down. Oh, he's received a hit from the Emil. Now he needs to get out of there now, because we know which direction the Emil's coming from. Question is, which side of that rock face is he going to come around? Is it going to be that way or the other? From the number of shots that the Emil fired, he's in reload. And it was a big hit from the Emil, 357 hit points. But Knightsman can still win this if he can shotgun the Emil. And there's the Emil! And he shotguns him! Oh, magnificent! He takes out the enemy. The Emil stupidly goes round the side thinking, oh, go down into the dip. He won't know I'm here. Oh, and instead he should have come the direct route, and he gives the opportunity for Knightsman to shotgun him in the face as he comes around the corner. Knightsman was ready, and it was a beautiful finish to that battle. He carried it for his team. 4 kills in total. Let's have a look at the end of battle results for that one. And it's an ace tanker for Knightsman 3R22 in the GW Tiger P. He also picked up a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. That's exactly what he got. And he got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14 in total. On top of that, he picked up a Gore's medal because he did more damage, exceeding 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. Let's have a look at the... oh, it's a win 8 of 8615. That's absolutely huge. And that's a testament to the fact that a lot of his shots were on target. They were actually getting the enemy in the passes, and then that beautiful wipeout of the Kramvan where he hit him. I mean, he actually did 2 hits to him, but that one of those hits was over 1,000 hit points when he actually struck him. So beautiful shot there. If we look at the team scores, top on damage, 4,302 hit points. That's the highest on both teams. I'm not sure why he didn't get the high caliber there. Maybe it wasn't that he wasn't 20% of the enemy's team strength. He did get the highest number of kills, 4 kills, and he got the highest base XP of 1,253, which is a very high score indeed. He fired 12 rounds, got 7 direct hits, 7 penetration, 6 splash, damage of 4,302 hit points, of which 3,896 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously, the kill on the Emil was very close indeed, and that's the one that was less than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, 1 penetration from the Emil. He damaged 6 of the enemy, but killed 4 of them, so he damaged 2/5 of the enemy team. He also did stun assistance damage of 1,170 hit points off 9 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 62,084 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and ammunition is fairly expensive at this level, he still had 29,270 credits. He received 1,879 XP, but it was ×2 for the first victory of the day, which meant he took away 3,759. So, magnificent round, and that kill at the end, that was beautiful, sheer poetry. Well done, Knightsman 3R22. That's a good example of how effective the Tiger P can be in the right hands. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. And hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in our next video.